Hey, Wayne here with the BQI C3 Pro new e-bike. Instead of a chain, it has a belt, and instead of a single battery, it has two. So let's check it out now. Oh, I knew it was going to happen eventually. Hey, Wayne here today with the new BQI C3 Pro. And when I say new, it's actually spelled NIU. I believe it's pronounced new. So new has done away with the traditional bike chain, and on this bike they have put on what's called a Gates carbon drive. It's a belt drive. It's supposed to last up to like 10,000 miles, so that'll hold you for a long time. You'll never have to grease it. Pretty good stuff. It comes with mechanical brakes. I'm a big fan of hydraulic brakes, but the mechanical brakes, they work fine. So I'm going to do a little bit of a test. Mode 1 without throttling, just pedaling, I can get up to about 12, 13 miles per hour. And if I go to mode 2 and I keep pedaling, I am now up to 17.3, 17.8, 18 miles per hour. Yeah, still climbing. 19.5, 19.8. Yeah, so right about there. If I go to mode 3 and I just gradual pedal, because this is a cadence sensor bike, I don't have to really worry about pedaling really fast. I'm at 24.5, got a stop sign. Check the brakes here. Yeah, everything's good. All right, so if I start pedaling again, what happens is this is a cadence pedaling system, so it doesn't really matter how fast I pedal. Whatever the top speed is for that mode that you're in, you'll reach it just with a gradual pedal. That can create some ghost pedaling, like right now I don't feel it. If it was a torque sensor type bike, then you would feel it a lot more, because you would have to put a lot more pressure in to get up to the max speed for that mode that you're in. What this means is, if you're somebody with, say, you got trouble with your knees, hips, bad back or something like that, that causes you to have a little bit of a problem pedaling, a cadence bike like this might be the bike for you. Now, if you just like the thought of not having to pedal really hard, but you want some exercise once in a while, you can just ride in the lower mode, like 1, and pedal a little harder. Or you can completely turn off the motor by just going to 0, mode 0, and pedaling. Now this bike doesn't have any gears, like a lot of them have 1 through 7. This doesn't have any, so you don't have to worry about switching gears or anything like that. If I throttle only, it'll get up to 20 miles per hour, and that's as fast as it'll go throttle only. It'll speed up if you start pedaling. It'll get you up to, supposedly up to 28. That's going to depend a little bit on the load. I've been getting about 27. All right, let's go. Mode 3. 20. 21. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. Hey, 28. Holding there. Yeah, this display works really well. It's one of the few that I can actually see during the day when I'm riding. I mean, it looks great. I don't have any problem, any issue at all seeing this display. And I love this display. This display I wish was on all bikes, because it's sort of laid out like a car display, and it has a lot of information on it. If I press the power button down, I go from seeing like the odometer and the trip time and the speedometer to seeing riding time, average speed, max speed, and still, of course, the speedometer. If I push it again, this is really cool. I now see cadence, calories burnt, and range. So a lot of good information on this bike if you want to get it to, exercise and know what you're doing while you're riding. The front headlight has sort of a halo type design to it. When you turn the bike on, it always comes on. That's a good safety feature. You don't have to worry about remembering to turn your light on. In the evening, if you want to turn it completely on, there's a center LED, and you push and hold the up button down for a little bit longer than you normally would. The front headlight will get a little bit brighter, and your display will dim a little bit. So again, kind of like a car design. The brake light is integrated. You don't have to worry about turning it on and off. It will automatically turn on and off with the bike. And when you press the brake handles, it will light up a little bit more. So that's good too. I really like the way NIU put these batteries in on the bike. It's in sort of a V format, but makes it really, really easy to step in and out of this bike. It's probably the easiest step through that I have ever been on. So if you have trouble, again, getting off and on a bike, this bike is, again, probably for you. It's really, really easy. It's got the most space. It's just simple to get on and off this bike. And the batteries come with a special cord so that you can charge both batteries up at the same time. Okay, they've done a great job with these dual batteries. The way that they've placed them in here gives you a lot of room to step in and out of the bike. They have a key on each side to remove them if you want to take them inside and charge them. But what's really cool is that it does come with a single charger. But this charger will plug into this dual cord charging system right here. So you'll plug this into the charger, you'll take the tips here, and one will go on this side, and obviously the other one will go in on the other side. So that makes it really convenient for charging. This rubber piece, you got to put it back in, and it can be a little bit tricky. So that time it went in really easy. A lot of times I kind of have to struggle to get them back in. Maybe that's a good thing. It's sealing really, really good. So just a little personal gripe. I wish it was a little easier to plug those back up. Seems to handle hills just fine. I haven't noticed any decline in power going up any of the hills around here. What's comfortable about it is that it is a cadence sensor bike, so just gradually pedaling makes for a great day riding. BQI C3 Pro, which sounds a little Star Wars like, has done away with the traditional chain and uses a Gates carbon drive. The claim is that the Gates carbon drive lasts for more than 10,000 miles, and you never have to add any grease, meaning it should last about 33 times longer than a traditional bike chain. For brakes, it's equipped with 108mm front and rear disc brakes. I would love to have seen this bike come with hydraulic brakes, but the disc brakes are working fine. It has a rear Bafang motor, which is a 500 watt motor with 750 watt peak power. For top speed, using pedal assist, you'll max out at 28 miles per hour, while with throttle only, you'll max out at 20 miles per hour. It has 27.5 by 2.4 inch tires, and the tread is great for commuting through the city streets. The rear rack is actually built into the bike and can carry up to 66 pounds. I really like the bright TFT display. The screen is 3.5 inches and has a layout very similar to what you would see in a car. The front light has sort of a halo effect. It's a ring light that turns on automatically every time you turn the bike on. But when you ride at night and you actually turn the light on, the display will dim a little bit, and the center of the light has another LED in it, and that will light up as well. So here's a shot of it at night with the lights on. Okay, this is kind of a biggie for NIU. They've incorporated a dual 920 watt battery system. They use a clever design for the batteries, putting them in a V-mount type of position, which is also part of the step through, and that has made this bike extremely easy to step through. In fact, I'd say it's the easiest bike I've ever stepped through on a bike before. The top range is about 90 miles, but of course that will vary depending on your weight,
style of riding, the terrain you're on, and what mode that you're in. The lower mode is going to obviously do a lot more with mileage. This box comes equipped with tabs. Whoever created these tabs, genius. You can just simply squeeze these two pieces inside the tabs to pull them out. And when you do that, it enables you to pull the top of the box right off instead of destroying it. What's good about that is these bike companies, they want you to return the bike in the same box should there be a reason for you to return the bike. And this could save you money because otherwise you may have to go out and buy a box. So if you want to keep the box around for a while just in case something goes wrong, this is a great way to do it. You don't have to cut the box open. Squeeze those tabs, pull them out, lift the top off. Perfect.
Okay, once you have the bike unboxed, there's not much left to do. It's pretty straightforward. We're going to loosen the stem and turn it around for the handlebars, mount the handlebars, put the front tire and fender on, and mount the pedals onto the bike. And the only other thing you need to watch for is there is a piece of foam in the rear fender, between the rear fender and the tire. Make sure you take that out before you go out for your first ride. So let's get this all put together right now. Okay, so I would loosen the light and display a little bit so that it'll be a little bit easier to tighten up the stem bolts there on the handlebar. Now, you're going to want to readjust all this in the end, right where you like it. I'm going to kind of guess right now where I want my handlebars to be. Quick note under the handlebar, if you need to raise it up, you need to loosen this one right here underneath. So if you don't know it's there, you could miss it. So loosen that up. You may have to loosen the sides up a little bit and then make your adjustments, tighten everything back down, and you'll be ready to go. Okay, once you have the handlebar installed, make sure you connect this cable. It's color coded green to green. Make sure you line those pins up just right so that you don't break anything, and line them up and push them together. And that's it. Okay, to prepare for the front tire, we are going to have to remove this block of wood. So we're going to have to loosen these bolts, remove all of it, loosen this as well. I'm going to do this first. I think this is what's holding the fender, front fender, onto the front fork, but it's going into that wood block a little bit. So we're going to loosen this up. Don't have to take these off, just loosen them up. Yeah. And do the same on the other side. Lift up the bike, knock that piece out, remove it, carefully set the forks back down, and that's it. Let's put the front tire on and get that ready. So right in between here, you're going to put that brake disc right in between those pads while you slide everything in place. So be very careful and just take your time. Okay, to prepare for this, I'm going to go ahead and take the quick release skewer and remove this side here, this nut, and feed it on through from this side. Go around to the other side and put this on here. Tighten it up just a little bit, just very little, so it's just so it's in there. And now I'm going to just lift the bike up and slide the brake disc in and onto the forks right here. So this is better if you have help. I'm alone. I could put it on my bike stand, but I'm going to try just lifting it and carefully putting it in. Let's see how that goes. Very careful. Make sure you go high enough. and it's on. So I'm gonna put the kickstand down and tighten everything up. Okay, to put the front fender on, we're going to lock that nut down in place and remove it. Okay, slide your fender on in and put the washers and the nut back on to hold it in place. So once you have that there, it's just sort of to hold it in place while you put the bottom part on. Let's connect the fender to the fork and then we'll tighten everything up. Okay, let's get the pedals on. Looking at this right here, you can see that the right pedal goes clockwise while the left pedal goes counterclockwise. So match those up and you shouldn't have any problems getting the pedals on. Now that you have your BQI C3 Pro all put together, make sure everything's tightened down, tires are inflated, batteries are charged, and you're ready to go. If the new BQI C3 Pro checks off all the boxes for you, please use my affiliate links down below. Doesn't cost you anything extra to use, helps out the channel a lot, I appreciate that. Grab yourself one, get out there and ride, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, got a stop sign. All right.